Hey guys, and welcome to Ozzie Reviews, and welcome to a little bit late edition of December Q A. So as you guys know, let's start off with what's new here at Ozzie Reviews. I took a little bit of time off over the Christmas break and obviously New Year. I tell you, it was just long overdue, guys. Just some time for myself, just to get out there, spend a little bit more time with Hank, and just catch up with a few good friends and family. So yeah, it was much needed, so thanks very much for your patience over that period. Also as well, I've filmed the Seiko S20 review. Now that's going to be uploaded and live this week, so keep an eye out for that one. I know there's a lot of you that want to see a good honest review on the rifle, and I can assure you I've called it exactly how it is, so keep an eye out for that video. Also too guys, speaking of Hank, I've got him here, and I know a lot of you guys ask questions about, how's Hank going and everything like that. Well, yeah, he's no longer just a small puppy. He's, about 7 months old now, and he's just, I tell you, geez, he's high energy, and, he just gets fed well and just has a great time here on the farm. So let me just pick him up and I'll show you. So yeah, this is Hank now. So he's he's a little bit less restless, but he's certainly just a beautiful dog, and yeah, love him heaps, and been putting a lot of time into him, haven't we? Yes. Okay, so let's jump into this month's questions. The next question we got here is from Brent. He says, "Hi Ozzie, what's your thoughts on traps for feral pest control?" Now, Brent is asking this, guys, from a feral pest control business point of view. Okay, so I look at it as really time consuming, and you've got to remember that you've got clients there who are paying you, for maximum numbers in a single encounter. So they're not paying you, they're not going to pay you for 10 hours of your time for one single dog in a trap, okay? So I'd go through like Western trapping supplies, and you can get like long distance lures that you can put out, and the smell of it, because it's like dog and heat urine and other stuff, will bring a lot of the wild dogs in. So I find that a lot better, because then you can get on top of the pack from there. So have a look at them, and I'm sure you'll find something that will suit your needs for your business. Next question I got here is from Matt, and he says, "Hey Ozzie, just wondering what you use for targets, especially for the ones you use when shooting long range. Do you make the frames or do you buy them?" No mate, I get all my targets from STS Targets. Now Sean Milner down in Adelaide makes them all himself, and so it's all fully Australian made from Australian made steel. So what more could you possibly want? Have a look at them. I've done several reviews of their targets, so have a look at obviously at my videos, and jump onto his website as well and have a look. But STS Targets, honestly, I don't use anything else, because they just simply work. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's a target, so if it's quality, it's made here, it's Australian steel, it's got a big thumbs up from me, because they just simply work. So have a look, they're very well priced as well. Next question I got here is from Colin, and he says, "Hey Ozzie, why did you sell your Schmidt Benders? What did you replace them with?" Well mate, I haven't replaced them. I sold a couple of rifles that I had those optics on, so basically they were just spare, and I didn't have any rifles to put them on, so that's why I sold 2 of them there recently. Next question I got here is from Bob, and he says, "Ozzie, I've got a query about protecting firearms that are kept in a safe in a humid part of Queensland. Is there any problem with using those standard household items like DampRid inside the safe? I've seen some differing opinions online." I don't use any of that, mate, so I can't give you a confident answer with that, other than to tell you what I do. And I simply just use G96. So every time I'm out, I finish shooting, what I do is I just make sure that I obviously clean the rifle, but then I'll just coat it with G96 and just let that soak into the material. So what that does is just puts that protective film over it, and I've never had any issues with rusting or anything like that with humidity. Next question I got here is from Richard. He says, "Looking back at 2020, it's been a very challenging time for firearm owners, with gun shop closures and more restrictions being placed on firearm ownership in general. It's sad when the media and politicians give misleading information to the general public about firearms. How do you think 2021 is going to go, and any surprises on the horizon?" Well mate, yeah, look, when I did that video on the last Australian shooter, I was honest about what my prediction is, and unfortunately it's coming true, because shooters will not get up off the couch. I mean, look at like the last election, like here in Queensland, for example. We had a handful of us that actually got up off the couch and handed out how to vote cards for, you know, the better pro-gun parties, I guess, over the standard majors. But people are just so lazy. Like, it's just ridiculous. But then those same people whinge like mad when more restrictions come in. But you ask them and say, what have you actually done? Nothing. Not a thing. Had a whinge out at the range, spoke to someone in the committee, you know, at the range. Like, what's that doing? That does nothing. You've actually got to make the appointment with your local member. And I know you have, Richard, and good on you for doing it. You've got to show people that, you know, you don't accept these restrictions, and if you don't, you know, support shooters, well, we won't vote for you. That's as simple as that. And the biggest problem is the amount of shooters that still vote for the major parties, thinking that the major parties are better for their job security over that of minor parties who actually will listen to you. That's something else I can't quite get my head around, because it's just all smoke and mirrors in my view, guys. You know, they certainly try to pull the wool over your eyes and say, oh, you know, like, vote for Labor, they'll keep your job safe, or, you know, vote for the LNP because we'll look after people in the bush. I can assure you, like, go out to these areas and see what really goes on, and you'll see just how much, or you'll see why I think that it's just smoke and mirrors in my view. So look, that's sort of getting off track a little bit, but the newest thing on the horizon here in Queensland is this fit and proper person test. Now, what weapons licensing are doing is they're basically using people's traffic history. So you've had a couple of speeding tickets in the past against them, so they can't have a firearms license. Now, I'm pretty sure if you had a look at most politicians, you know, they're going to have speeding tickets. You look at most people that probably work in weapons licensing, probably got speeding tickets as well. Like, you know, how far do you push this? I mean, you've already put so many restrictions on licensed shooters to be of the utmost integrity. So how much further can you go? I mean, people are people. People are going to get speeding tickets. You know, everyone's not perfect. But, you know, they're really cramping down on that and using, you know, people's history from many, many years ago to basically say to them, well, why should you have a firearms license? My recommendation on that, guys, my take on it is you fight it the whole way. Just elect to go to court and say, yeah, let's have a magistrate decide it, because it's just, I don't think that it's winnable. You know, you're talking about such minor stuff here. Yeah, if a couple of years ago you got done for armed robbery or something, I'm pretty sure that, you know, they'd have good grounds there to say, look, you're not a fit and proper person. But let's be honest, if you were a criminal, you wouldn't even be going through the license process in the first place, would you? So, yeah, keep an eye out for that, guys. I think that's going to spread pretty much Australia-wide, if it hasn't already in some other states. But you've just got to be vigilant, and you've just got to fight it. Just articulate yourself, be calm, be rational, and you know, always elect to go to court and fight every decision that they put on you. Now, the next question I got here is from Richard again. He says, mate, what's your thoughts on Sauer rifles? I see they are made in Germany, and do you get what you pay for? Yes, I've only reviewed one of them, and that was the S100, Rich. So, you know, I found that really good. I mean, it put 3 shots. It was a hunting, you know, configuration. Put 3 shots at 100 into 0.4 of an inch. So, you know, what more could you possibly want? That was using the Federal Premium loaded with a 52 grain spear projectile. So, yeah, really good. So in my view anyway, mate, from my limited experience with Sauer, I think they're pretty good. Prior to actually starting Ozzie Reviews years ago, I had a friend with a Sauer in 300 Win Mag, and that rifle was just absolutely beautiful. Just what you expect from a German-made rifle, you know. Nice smooth action, shot extremely accurately, and just overall, just a beautiful piece. So yeah, I do recommend these rifles. Next question I got here is from John. He says, Happy New Year to you, Ozzie. My question is, what's your thoughts of reloading versus buying factory ammunition? Well, I've got a couple of questions for you, John, that I've got to ask before I give this advice is, you know, what's your purpose and how much will you actually shoot and what caliber are you looking at? And why I ask those questions is because, you know, if your purpose is going to the range and you want to fire, like say, you know, I don't know, maybe 200-300 rounds in a weekend, then I'd probably say, yeah, look, get into reloading. Especially if your purpose is long range precision, then you want to, you know, get that maximum accuracy you can out of that setup. So yeah, I would probably recommend reloading. However, if you're like me, you know, and you're just here on the farm, or you're going out to rural properties, having a bit of a hunt, just a little bit of a fun, shoot every now and then, I would honestly just stick with factory ammo if it's in a common caliber, you know, like 223, 243, 308, because you can get some really good bulk deals where, you know, honestly, to reload and put your time into it, for me personally, it's not worth it. So my sort of benchmark for my test is if you can get a factory rifle using factory ammunition and put 3 shots into like a 1/2 inch or 0.6 or 0.7 of an inch there at 100, or even if it's a varmint type rifle and you can get, you know, like 5 shots under that inch at 100 with factory ammunition, yeah, for me personally, I don't see any need to reload. You know, like why would you? Like if you can get that sort of accuracy. To me, dead is dead. I'm shooting, you know, most hunting distances 75 to 125 yards around here. So, you know, for me, I just want to be confident that where I'm shooting, that round is going to go. And if it's shooting under an inch at 100, I'm pretty confident, you know, in that setup. So I hope that helps you. Next question I got here is from Peter, and he says, hi Ozzie, recommendations please on a mid-price rifle brand and caliber for taking the occasional pig, maybe a deer and some general range fun. Well mate, seeing you put deer in the mix, you know, I was going to suggest like 223 as a caliber, you know, but really that's not sufficient for deer unless you're looking at very lightweight deer in general. For me, brand wise, mate, honestly, if you want something that's like middle price range, so you're not going budget, look at the Tikka T3X. Honestly, the amount of them that I have reviewed, and every single one of them has easily achieved that MOA guarantee. Just beautiful rifles. They come in very different configurations, from stainless synthetic, you know, so it'll take the knocks, you know, when you're out, also be a little bit better, you know, there with the weather. But yeah, really, really good. And also, you know, you can get varmint type setups with them. You can also have them, you know, with the blued stock and, with the blued finish and the wooden stock. So really, really good. Have a look at them, mate. And caliber wise, I would probably say, you know, even 243, have a look at, okay? Yeah, 243 is just a really good caliber that really is an all-round caliber that you could easily take pigs humanely. Also, you know, deer, obviously go up to like 100 grain, like Sierra Game King projectiles with that one. And, you know, you can just have some general fun at the range with it as well. So yeah, that would be my recommendation, but let me know how you go. All right, guys, that concludes this month's Q&A. So happy New Year to everyone. Keep an eye out for the new reviews in 2021, and I look forward to catching you on the next review.